and just
the new,
yeah,
because
so
it's
cool.
not.
It's like dating over 30 is like shopping in a thrift store.
Oh shit!
Because it's not the concept of what we grew up with is no longer the case now.
Yes.
Like you gotta have an Instagram page or some form of social media because that's like an extension of you. So that's how folks check you out.
That is so crazy. I cannot
like,
even imagine being out in the world. That thing seems cold, man.
Yeah, they're like they got to see what you call it. What are you about? What have you taken pictures of and whatnot? It's just like
damn.
And
from what I know from like these dating sites, like people will put their Instagram, like they just use it to get followers. Like that they go on the dating site to get followers. Oh, forget about the dating site. Come over to my Instagram and follow me. It's just like why? No.
Yeah, you're not looking for a relationship.
You're not. But it's like, and I read an article once. It said that, like for women, the older you get, like, or for anybody, the older you get, the smaller the dating pool gets for potential prospects because you're left over. I wouldn't say like scraps or whatever, but you're left over with the leftovers, like people who are single for a reason.
I'll definitely say it's much harder for women as they get older. Like for some reason, like when we as men get older, we still good. Like it doesn't.
I think the problem women are encountering is that they're doing the whole I'm in my 30s. I need to date in my 30s. No, baby, you need to go down to the 20s like the men do and date right there in that pool too. The pool gets bigger if you go 10 years younger than you. Just make that like a big span, like a span of age. Yeah, that's what it needs to be. Like
I would say 28 would be my limit.
28?
Yeah, 20 years younger. Yes. Who likes older women? 21? Oh, he'd have to be hot. Like, he'd have to be, like, super hot.
But you're 30.
Yeah, if it was like Jason Momoa and he was 21.
I don't understand this whole thing where it's almost automatic to think that, okay, you're in your 30s, or you say you're in your 40s and you're thinking, okay, I need men in my 40s, maybe 50s.
So if she don't respect you, she gonna reject you. Real talk. From a real G to do a real walk.
Like, nah.
That never crossed my mind.
Okay.
ever.
Nothing is wrong if it's a mature person.
But at the same time, I understand, the mindset behind that because, and I can use any of y'all as an example in terms of how you guys think. Mm-hmm. You honestly saying like if it was someone in their 20s who just can be mature, but maybe in their circle they're like young, like you're like, oh snap, like this ain't my crowd, this ain't my circle, like this brings me nothing.
They're doing like keg parties. I was like,
listen, you remember that song, and it was saying I can do it, girls their age can do. Let me love you down, right? Mm-hmm. It's the they're talking about the person being older, and they're saying, okay, I'm seeing here as the younger one. You think I'm immature or whatever, but I can do exactly what an older person could do for you. It's the same way that the ladies should be looking at it. There's nothing that an older man, let's say older man, but men in their, you say you're in your 30s, and why do you need a man in their 40s? Nothing is wrong with somebody in their 20s. If they want to go out to their parties, they go out to their parties. Mm-hmm. They come right home to you. You can compromise, just like every single thing. You can go to one or two of those parties, or maybe it's a person that don't even like that scene either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a person that don't even like that scene. It's not all of them party and go to cake, and
no, absolutely not. No, I feel personally like you need a good age range. When I hit 30, I was like, oh, I need to get a foot. No, because it depends on what you're looking for. If you just want someone, a lot of women, or at least a good percentage of women, I'm not saying it's a lot of women, they feel that the older man will offer some sort of stability, or if they want financial,
provide your own stability.
If you're more focused on financial stability and someone who isn't going to go anywhere, then they tend to go a little bit older. you know,
that's the same. That's the same on our side. Like what you call it, definitely looking for stability.
Yeah, but
Definitely looking for someone who's got it together. Because look, we don't want to deal with anyone that's broke either.
Yeah. Yeah, and men they're very blatant about, you know, the woman, you know, the person has to look good, has to be attractive. I think that as women, like, we sort of are told to put that on a back burner. Oh no, forget about how he looks. Just, you know, no. I still have to be able to look at you. I have to look at your face. I have to find you attractive.
There has to be a mutual attraction on both sides.
Of course. But it's like, but I feel like women are always put in this position where if we say,
it doesn't matter how he looks.
Exactly. Like we're saying, oh, well, you just, you know, you're all about the looks. No. How come it should be equal? That is where I feel it should be equal on all ends. Attraction has to be mutual. You can't, and if you're willing to just throw away attraction just to get the bag or just to get somebody that's going to provide for you, that's on you. You know, do you. All power to you. But for me,
that's where some be messing up. That's where some be messing up. Like, let me see. What do you want? Okay. Now, what are you going to do about that?
Oh, yeah, it's a transaction.
Oh, well, I'm good. I'm like, okay, look what you pulled up. And I'm not trying to be shady.
Yeah.
You think that person is not going to want someone equal in terms of how they're coming off?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're average looking at best.
Come on, because if that person, you know, was willing to put in the work in themselves, what makes you think they're not going to want that for the person that they're going with?
Yeah.
The person of interest. Now, sometimes that's not always the case, and we've seen where it could be.
They want a project.
Wow. No, it's just like because you never know what people are essentially attracted to. It's like someone with a great physique doesn't always want to go with someone who has a great physique.
Oh, you mean the number 10 couples?
No, it's just,
but the thing, what is a 10 couple? To some people, a 10 couple could be like the bodybuilder couple, or a 10 couple could be like the geek couple, or, you know, it depends on.
No, you not understand what I mean. It mean like the number 10, like the one person is like super skinny and super.
Look, you never know.
You never. I mean,
some people like that. I know.
There's
some people
somebody
like
for everybody.
And you're right. And sometimes a personality can take you so far.
Yeah.
A lot of people are forgetting that too. Is like, you have to have a personality. You know, you can't just go by looks, and you know, you have to have something to.
It could be a whole brick. Like,
yeah.
It's like, okay, I only good for one thing. File it away.
Man. Everybody wants somebody that's well-rounded. That's gonna make them be their best self or a better version of them. Like, nobody wants somebody who brings out the demon in them. Like, you know.
But a lot of people, like, that's another thing too. It's like, if people don't have that excitement or that fire, they feel bored with the relationship, and that's where a lot of people get in trouble too. Yeah, they
fire
feel
is not
like
always fighting though. Fire could be other places. Fire could be like heated discussions.
Yeah.
Art, you know, like, but it doesn't have to be like, you know, like
we can start there.
Yeah, we
can start with a conversation. If one person is somewhere, you know, mentally where the other person is not, and, you know, they try to discuss certain topics, the translation will be lost right then and there.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn, this person's a brick. Looks great.
Yeah.
What do you call those curling stones? Like just slide it down the ice. Just get out.
Yeah, you know, it could be something nice on the arm, but you know,
it's temporary.
Yeah, it's just like,
even if it becomes
don't talk.
Yeah, even if they end up marrying, and I'm gonna say it.
But a lot of people are looking for trophies too. They're looking for that trophy spouse, that trophy partner, and that's what they want. That's all they care about.
You never have the trophy for long, because after a while, they start cheating on the trophies. Even they're like, damn, that girl is bad, or damn, that man is fine, and
they're not fulfilled.
Cheated on.
But that's it. But that's all they have to offer is just you a bad one. That's it.
Yeah,
like not bad with an education.
Yeah,
not bad with your own business. You just bad
and ditzy and spend money and just like a drain, like a leech. After a while, you're gonna become a problem. Or not to say everybody has to be like educated, like traditional or anything like that, but somebody that's on the same level. Somebody that's on the same level. That's it.
Yeah, it could still be opposite to track. It could be, you know, the well educated and the street hood.
How much time would you give? I mean, they have to both be very open to change, open to negotiation, because there's going to be a lot of negotiation in a relationship like that.
Of course. Well, and that's communication is key. Mm-hmm. And as long as the communication is there and whatever terms are set and if both parties are in agreement, then hey.
I've never seen that work in real life, but in my little books.
Yeah, it's very drama. Yeah, very dramatic. Yeah, it's a dramatic.
100%.
And that's another thing. If people don't know how to communicate, then it's going to fail. Like, I think that's the number one thing is no matter what circumstance you're in, if you can't communicate with the person or explain yourself without somebody getting offended or feeling some kind of way or talking through your issues, you know, with each other, then that's just a recipe for failure. But a lot of people have that. They just don't know how to communicate in a way that's productive, you know,
without feeling just extremely emotional. It's just like, just stop, listen,
or stonewalling and just ghost. Yeah, it's just
like, don't let you picking out trigger words. Relax. Hear the whole thing first. Bring it in, then say what you need to say.
That's the rational thing to do and say. But sometimes we aren't rational. We're emotional.
No, but I think when it comes to relationships and any aspects of love, it needs to be rational.
Yes.
It needs to, because.
But that's so easy because you're a rational person. Like, I think we're all rational. Like, it's easy for us to say that, but a lot of people they just don't have it. Once they're triggered, that's it. Yeah. They get set off and they get in that place where their logic is just out the window.
And sometimes act like a child. I don't know. Sometimes I do that. I don't know. It's like my whole sense of rational, it just goes out the window sometimes. And I just like.
Is it because you feel emotional? Is it the emotional part, or is it just like defensiveness?
Usually it comes out of frustration. Yeah. So if I'm frustrated at something, I don't want to hear that. You have to give me a minute. You have to give me a minute. Let me process it, and then I'll come back and I'll be like, yeah, you know, you are right. And it's not always that I know the right thing to do or say right away. Sometimes I mess up too, and I'm like, yo, why did you just act like a 2-year-old?
Yeah.
See, and sometimes lucky for you that you have someone that's patient.
Ooh, yes, that's the thing.
Because what you call it, you going off like that, that might set the other person off, because it's just like
exactly.
Like what I said I felt like it didn't warrant that type of response.
Yes.
So now you going off, and now you want a moment to talk. Now I don't want to talk.
Yeah, that's where I get caught up a little bit too. Is like I kind of overcommit. Like, I'm very specific. Like, I'm very specific in my logic, and I'll just explain everything. But I guess it can be seen as too much. You know, and I'm just like, I feel this way because A, B, C, X, Y, Z. This is why this happened from point A to point B to point Z, and I tell like the whole scenario, the whole story. But a lot of people they would just want to pick out what they feel comfortable with and not really engage in that way. So I'm just like, maybe I should rein it in, but I don't really feel like it. I don't feel like I need to rein it in.
You don't feel like you need to rein it in?
I mean,
I don't feel like
you're putting it on the table. So to me, I don't see an issue with
that. For me personally, it's always better for me to put everything out there on the table.
The whole plate. Okay.
As opposed to just... a lot of people feel comfortable just like Lisa said, like walking away from the table and not communicating at that point. Like, I just, that is my trigger. Just like.
So you definitely need a listener. And you definitely need somebody who's patient as well. Yeah. See, that's the thing. We have our balance. Like, it's just to find the right person that balances you. Because sometimes there's a hothead, and then you have somebody that could just level the situation, and then sometimes you have somebody that's super patient. You just finding somebody that's going to be able to put up with your crap, because sometimes the baggage that you will put up with is not the baggage that somebody else will put up. You just have to find somebody that's going to put up with your stuff.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, because look,
Can't fit a square peg in a round hole. Well, that's a lot of people do.
No, but that's the thing. I'm not saying that people should try to force it. When you find your person, you find your person.
Yeah.
Because as I said, it was the whole like the person bringing out the worst in you. If you are butting heads, that means that's not your person. That means it's a square peg in a round hole. That means it's not for you. You find somebody that put up with your quirks, because sometimes the great things about you, overshadow those small things that irritate somebody else.
And what can trigger one person won't trigger somebody. It'd just be like, they probably would love it about you, that.
Exactly. Exactly.